What's happening, guys? What is this, Thursday? And welcome to the Dynasty War Zone. My name is Memphis. You can find me at DWZ Memphis. And with me, as always, he is the dirtiest player in the game today. But the dirtiest player in the game today is my computer. Dr. Kyle, thank you for your patience, sir.
Happy to be here, especially because Memphis, I know we listen to a lot of the same podcasts, and I'm sure you've caught up on a few of them this week. And everybody's talking about Mike Vrabel being a great coach and possibly coach of the year. Who said that about almost exactly 7 days ago and who had Tennessee plus 7.5? Wish I took the money line. Beggars can't be choosers, something like that. But yeah, happy to be back. We're grooving. We're grooving. Aside from your computer, the computer is not grooving. It's pooping. But we're grooving.
If you're watching live on YouTube, you can see over my shoulder that it's spinning. Do not shut off your computer. I'm about ready to break it. New computer has been ordered. So we are doing this via an iPhone and a set of headphones. But Dr. Kyle, you're going to drive. I'll do the recap real quick. We both went 2-3 on our bets last week. But you, sir, went 5-0 on your leans.
Told you grooving.
And I went 2-3 on my leans. Cumulative across everything. Again, this was a quicker recap than normal due to computer malfunctions. We are 93, 94, and 4 on the season. We continue to be dead even across the board. So that is a very quick, much quicker than normal. This may only be a 15, 20-minute show due to technological difficulties. And I don't even know how much I'll be able to clean up the audio, even if I get my computer working. So, Dr. Kyle, I'm going to let you drive. You have the big board. Let's start with Thursday night football.
Thursday night, we have Baltimore in Miami. Baltimore is laying 7.5 with a total of 46.5 as of a little bit earlier today. That line is probably hovering somewhere around 7.5 or 7 at this point. I don't have anything on this game that I love, but it looks like you have something here.
I do. I have what I am referring to as my all-purple people teaser of the week. I am going to tease now the line's still 7.5. That is correct, right?
I think it might be even down to 7 at this point. Yeah, it's 7 right now.
Thank you. And that is courtesy of betus.com. And I am going to tease the Minnesota Vikings and Baltimore together. That's how I get my purple people teaser of the week. I'm going to tease Baltimore down to -1. Basically, they have to win the game. Baltimore's been a great teaser leg for me, except for the Cincinnati game.
Yep.
And I'm going to tease them up with the Minnesota Vikings, currently getting 2.5. Is that also correct?
Let me double check. I'm not on BetUSA. Probably should since they're our sponsor. On DraftKings, Minnesota is +3, lay 105. So they're probably in the neighborhood of 2.5, 3. I'm hoping somewhere they're 3.5 because that's a lean of mine.
Well, I'm going to say they were 2.5. That's what they were at BetUS this afternoon when I did the show sheet, and I teased them up to +8.5. So I have the purple people pleaser teaser of the week. Baltimore down to +1 and Minnesota up to +8.5. Teams just are getting margin on Minnesota. They may lose a lot of games.
Yep.
But they don't get blown out.
Nope. You mentioned that last week when I thought I would take Baltimore over Minnesota. I had, I got the total right there. I also talked about the in-game teaser. But while we're on Minnesota and the Chargers, I'll mention that I do like the Vikings getting. Honestly, I'm going to probably hound the apps until I see 3.5 somewhere because I want to be on the right side of the hook there. But the Chargers defense cannot stop anybody. They couldn't stop the Eagles last week. They were really struggling against the run. Granted, there might be some legal stuff going on in Minnesota that could be a distraction. But like you said, Minnesota will play down to the worst teams and they'll play up to the better teams. Yep, exactly. Yep, they play to their opponents. No home field advantage really in Los Angeles, I still think at this point. And it's a 4:00 slate. But I like I'm liking Minnesota. Looking for 3.5 before I bet that one anywhere.
All right, next game, 1:00 Sunday.
All right, first game, we have Jacksonville in Indianapolis. Jacksonville is getting 10.5 with a point total of 47.5. What do you have here for us, Memphis?
I just got a slight lean to Indy. Indy has covered these big numbers twice already. They covered against Houston, covered last week against the Jets, coming off. I think this number's closer to 14.
Yeah.
13.
Wentz does really well in the games with low pressure.
Oh, well, that and this team's slowly starting to come together.
Mm-hmm.
You look at his efficiency. If you're a fantasy gamer, he is QB 10 overall in your basic ESPN scoring format. But if you use Vegas metrics, I know Vegas loves ESPN's QBR, where Carson Wentz is I believe he's the 9th rated QB in QBR. And then another Vegas metric is EPA, expected points on average. That's basically per drop back, and he's 11th in that metric.
Oh, wow.
So he's having a much better season than people realize. I think Jacksonville is a little bit up because they beat Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I don't think that
well, and Indy's got the long rest coming off of the Thursday game, too. So they got the advantage there.
I also had a bet on the over. That's correct.
You do.
Right?
Yeah, you have a like on the 47.5 over.
Yeah, that was one of my bets because I just see Indy scoring 28, 29 points, 31 points because the offense looks great. It looks really dialed in right now. Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, Wentz all look great.
Yep.
But their defense allows bad teams to stay in it. We saw no shortage of points scored last week started off with Mike White and ended up with not Josh Jacobs. He's the running back for the Raiders. Josh Johnson.
Right.
And these two teams scored 75. So I think 47 feels a little bit low. And so I'm going as an official bet over 47.5, and I lean to Indy on the side.
Dig it. Next on the slate, we have Cleveland in New England. Cleveland is getting 1 point on the road at the total of 45. I think we both have something here, and we're on the same side.
I'm going to let you go.
Yeah.
Go, man, go.
This is, this is an interesting line. Like Cleveland's coming off of a pretty big upset over Cincinnati, which your boy had. And New England also covered pretty handily against Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. Apparently those ghosts were strong enough to break his scapula. Not an easy bone to break. So really, this line says that Cleveland is a slightly better team on a neutral. But give me Belichick. I think the Patriots are finding their groove on offense. They have an identity in the run game. Granted, their running backs are injured, but that's never been a concern in New England. They are always their running back personnel has really never mattered. It's the scheme, it's the O-line. Mac Jones is not turning the ball over, and then on defense, they're very opportunistic. I think Belichick will scheme something up that'll give Baker a hard time. Maybe a solid play here could be the under too, with both teams probably tending to lean toward a conservative game plan of running the ball. I haven't looked at the weather yet. Also something to consider as it gets a little bit chillier in the northeast here.
Yeah, same thing. Better coach. Both teams have issues at the running back position. And if you're watching live on YouTube or on Twitter, I apologize for giving you vertigo. I'm trying to fix my computer at the same time as I'm doing this podcast. Both running back rooms have issues. Both Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris concussions for New England. COVID wreaking havoc for Cleveland. I know John Kelly and Nick Chubb both have well, I mean, you got to mention it. They both have COVID.
Yeah, no.
And their only healthy running back is the Ernest Johnson. So going to be an interesting. I like the way the New England defense is playing. Yes. I've seen too many average quarterbacks have success against the Browns defense. I'm seeing even good quarterbacks like Justin Herbert struggle against the way this New England Patriots defense is playing. So if you consider home field worth 2.5, which is the new number per Vegas, does that you really think Cleveland's a better team? I think this number should be 2.5, 3, and I think I'm getting it laying the 1. So I'm going to take New England to win outright at home.
Take it.
Because I mean, I guess if they tie, then I would lose, but I don't think this game is a tie.
No. Great. On to the next 1 o'clock slate. We have Atlanta going to Dallas, getting 10 points with a total of 55. You got nothing here.
Nothing. I mean, actually,
you don't hate the total?
Well, I don't hate the total, but I heard on the way in as I was coming in from what I was doing this evening, I heard that number's down to 8.5.
Wow.
If that was the case, I would consider Dallas a teaser leg. If I could tease Dallas down to sub 3, but I started to say I want to go under this number, but do I really? Every time I try to go under with Atlanta, they absolutely smoke me.
Yeah, they're a team that feels like they're getting their shit together. They're a playoff team as of today. I've been on them a couple times over the past few weeks. At 10, I lean Atlanta plus 10 plus 10 right now. I got my bookie up because I'm in New York and that's about all I can gamble on at the moment.
BetUS.com.
And they're getting 9. You're right. I'll be there by next week. But yeah, just a slight lean to Atlanta plus 10. I don't know if I pull the trigger. We'll see. But Anyway, next we have the Buffalo Bills going to the Meadowlands to play the New York Jets. The Bills are laying 13 on the road with a total of 47.5. Anything from anyone here?
I have nothing, but I do have a fantasy nugget. Can I drop a fantasy nugget?
Yeah, this is the Dynasty Warzone channel.
You know what? Josh Allen hasn't looked the same without Dawson Knox. If Dawson, because Dawson Knox has missed the last 3 games.
Sure.
With I believe a broken hand. If I read, I guess it used to be Roto World. It's now NBC something.
NBC trash.
Yeah, that's a good one. I read today that Knox returned to practice on a limited basis. Mm-hmm. So it's not like a hamstring where like maybe he'll go, maybe he won't.
Yeah.
I expect to see him out there, and I have nothing on the game, but it would not surprise me if the Bills hung a beating on him. I just don't trust him. I'm sure the Bills will get tuned up just good enough to play my Colts next week, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Like the nugget. Moving on, we have the New Orleans Saints going to Tennessee, getting 3 points on the road with a total of 44.5. What do we got here? I got nothing. You got something. You got a like here.
Yeah, I'm teasing New Orleans up to plus 9.5.
Yep.
I know that's an atypical teaser, and I am teasing them up with the Raiders.
Yep.
The Raiders were getting 2.5 at home.
Yep.
I'm going to tease the Raiders up to plus 8.5. Kansas City's blowing nobody out right now.
Right.
As close as they've had to a blowout in a while was Philadelphia, and I think Philadelphia still scored 23 or 24 points. Of course, I have all these notes pulled up on my computer, but now I'm freewheeling. But that is one of my bets for the week. I had the purple people pleaser teaser. This is my blackout teaser. The black and gold of the Saints, the black and silver of the Raiders. We're going blackout teaser. Saints up to plus 9.5. Raiders up to plus 8.5 on my second teaser of the show.
Cool.
You got nothing?
I got nothing on either of those games. I actually was just looking to see. I was saying it feels like the Chiefs could use a vacation. The Chiefs go on bye in week 12. Let's just look ahead real quick and see who they play in week 13, because that feels like it might be a week to get on the Chiefs if there's going to be one this year. Filibuster, week 13. The Chiefs play home against the Broncos on December 5th. Something to think about.
All right, next shooter.
Next game is I got something here. We have Tampa Bay going on the road to Washington, D.C., that is. Tampa Bay is laying 10 with a total of 51.5. I got a like here. This is a really big number for a Tampa Bay team that going into the bye banged up. Interesting. Like going into a bye banged up and potentially coming out of the bye more banged up. And Washington is going to get 10 points at home, also coming off of a bye. So there's no rest advantage there. If anything, I think Washington might get the rest advantage because perhaps, Gibson came off the injury report. So I have to think he's healthier. McLaurin was hobbled with a hamstring. I think Washington, I don't know what they could get right with their scheme in the bye week, but they at least had 2 weeks to scheme for Tom Brady, who they have a blueprint potentially from Sean Payton from that Saints game. So I'm going to take Washington getting a big number 10 at home as a like.
Yeah, the NBC Sports Trash, they had reported that Gronk, Antonio Brown, and Chris Godwin all did not practice today.
Yeah.
With a myriad of injuries. I mean, coming off the bye and you're not practicing on Wednesday, it feels like a lot to be laying double digits even against Washington because Washington's feisty.
Yeah.
So I had nothing on this game myself, but I don't hate it.
Okay. Let's see what you like or hate or meh here. Next, we have Detroit going to Pittsburgh. Detroit, as of this, was catching 9.5. I think that number is down to 9 or 8.5 in some places with a total of 42.5. This is my big bet, Memphis. Pittsburgh is not getting margin on anybody. The refs were very helpful in that game last week. I'll be honest, I was a little peeved as somebody who was on the Steelers, and that game was looking Steelers covering 6.5 until that fumbled punt. And that was really a game changer. But Big Ben looks like he's running and throwing in molasses. They're not getting really any push behind the offensive line for the running game. Claypool is banged up. It just feels like Pittsburgh's doing everything they can. They got off to a really hot start last year, but it feels like that middle of the year where it was just like they were just doing anything they could hang on to wins. And Detroit's coming off of a bye. I still believe Dan Campbell is a good coach. I know Detroit's gotten blown out in a few games, but I feel like it's been coming off of a game that they really hung in there with. So they've been, they could get over that hangover of a big blowout 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to take Detroit getting the big points in Pittsburgh this week.
Yeah, I didn't have anything on there. I don't love it. This one feels like a trap. This one feels like the square dog of the week. Oh, Pittsburgh, for everything you just said, and I'm not trying to beat you up.
No,
it feels like a trap. That's why I didn't like the number. If it was like 8.5, I would consider teasing Pittsburgh down.
Yeah,
but I really don't have a lot on this game. But I will say this: if you like the Lions, then you probably have to like the over. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud.
Yeah.
All right. Next good shooter.
We have Carolina going to Arizona. Carolina is getting 10.5 with a total of 44.5. I just have a slight lean here towards Carolina because it sounds like I wouldn't be surprised if Colt McCoy goes again. Granted, he looked serviceable in San Francisco. That's a different story for a different game. San Francisco is trash. Jimmy G is trash. He's leaving his receivers out to dry. Anyway, Carolina, it looks like what's-his-face Walker is going to QB.
PJ.
I don't know. Yeah, PJ. Phillip. He's going by Phillip these days. He's mature. He's not a PJ anymore. PJ is a kid's name. Phillip. He's an adult. 44.5. Again, just like it's a low total. This feels like it could be a little bit of a letdown or a trap game for Arizona. Arizona won last week to sort of hold on to that NFC advantage, I think, with Green Bay losing, but the Rams also lost. So I think it feels like they might just try and eke this one out. Hopkins is still a little hobbled with the hamstring. I don't know. Maybe Walker is just, there's not enough tape on him where Arizona might struggle against some random quarterback who's playing for a career potentially. With Sam Darnold probably sidelined for a minimum 4 weeks. But again, just a lean towards Carolina.
Yeah, I got nothing on the game, but if you had me at Colt McCoy versus Phillip PJ Walker, a box office sellout anywhere you go across this great nation. It's
like when there's a 1 o'clock flight, a 1 a.m. fight that's like the headliner, and you turn the TV on at like 6 p.m. to see the first fight on the card.
It's Philip Walker versus Colt McCoy. Sounds like the semi-main event in a barely legal fist fight on a Saturday night. So, for those reasons, I have no action on this game.
Or a Cowboys shootout.
Yeah. Next game set.
I believe we're on to the 4 p.m. games. First 4 p.m. game or 4:30 game, we have Minnesota going to LA to play the Chargers. We talked about this one a little bit. They're laying, or Minnesota's
Purple.
getting Minnesota's getting the 3-ish right now. You had the teaser Minnesota up to 8.5 or 9. I like Minnesota if it gets to 3.5, and I lean the over, even though it feels a little bit square. But both of these teams are not really doing much to stop opposing offenses, so it feels like it'll just be a little bit of a back and forth. Probably whoever gets the last possession will be kicking a field goal, similar to that Chargers-Eagles game last week.
All right.
Seattle going to Green Bay. Seattle, as of this, was getting 3.5. I am looking at DraftKings very quickly because still 3.5 with a total of 49.5. I like Seattle, and this is contingent upon. I wonder, like, there's a chance Aaron Rodgers doesn't play again. I think Green Bay is a little bit or has the potential to be in shambles at this point in the season. There's a lot of just shit surrounding them, which feels like it could pull them down a little bit. And you have Seattle coming off a bye, looking like Russ Wilson can start this week. And I think Seattle, look, if there's something they had to do over the bye, it's find their grit and their that sort of blue collar 12th man. And I mean, they're on the road, but they're just not as gritty as they've been in the past. So it's a little bit of a hope and a prayer that they're coming out of this game highly motivated, knowing that they really have to play for their lives to make the playoffs this year.
Not me. I'm going the opposite way. How does Aaron Rodgers make everybody forget about the dumbass shit that he said? Balling out, beating Russell Wilson at home, driving a dagger through the heart of. And here's the thing: not only can he drive the dagger through the heart of a contemporary and a rival, Russell Wilson, he can remind everybody, including the GM and the president of the Packers, why he is the future of the Packers and not Jordan Love. Oh, you can have what you had last week, or you can have the guy that literally came out here and hung a beating on the Seattle Seahawks. I actually thought Green Bay was a pretty good bet because best case scenario, I think Aaron Rodgers plays. I've heard there's a very, very small chance he doesn't play, and I'll take Aaron Rodgers at home. I would love to get it at 3. I don't have any official action on this, but I could if it dips down to 2.5, I can see where maybe you would tease Seattle up as part of a teaser leg. So for me, there you go.
All right. Next, we have the Philadelphia Eagles going to Denver. Denver's the favorite here, 3-point favorite. Actually, I think, 3-point favorite in a 44-point total game. I like Denver. Denver, when I filled this in, they were -3, lay 105. So it's trending in the 2.5 direction, which means people are betting Philly. I just think Denver's defense, they looked good against the Cowboys last week. I think that perhaps getting Von Miller out of the locker room there was good for them, similar to OBJ getting out of the locker room in Cleveland. And that AFC West division is very competitive now. And clearly at the trade deadline, Denver, they sold Miller, but they didn't move Melvin Gordon. They're right in the thick of it. And this is a good spot for them to get another W. So I'm gonna bet Denver 3-105, but I'll be looking for 3.5 between now and Sunday.
You mean you'd be looking for 2.5 if you're on Denver?
Sorry, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, because I'm on Denver as well. This is a dual like for me and Dr. Kyle. I would love to get it under a field goal. Here's my handicap. Denver's defense is good. Write that down. I think Denver's got the corners between Patrick Surtain, however you pronounce that guy's name, Fuller, and I forget the other corner's name to take away the receiving weapons. And that leaves plenty of defenders to keep the running game in check. Add into that, this game's a mile high. Denver's feeling themselves. They're right in the mix with a Playoff spot. The entire AFC West is 5-4, or at least 5 wins. 2 teams have had their bye. They're 5-3. Denver's in this. They're in the mix, and I think they feel like they can compete.
Yep.
We may not agree. We may feel like they're the 4th place team in this division, but they don't.
Nope.
And they're playing hard. And I think we're literally one loss away in Philly from the Gardner Minshew show. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the minus the 3. I'd love to get it at minus 2.5.
It has hit 2.5, lay 120 on my bookie right now. So I just put a few bills on it.
I feel like Philadelphia is the wannabe wise guy, the wannabe sharp side all year, and I think more often than not they've cost you money.
Yep.
So for me, I'll happily take Denver again minus the 3. Would love to get it at 2.5.
Love it. Double like there, folks. Anyway, we got 2 games left. Sunday night game. We have Kansas City going to Las Vegas as 2.5-point favorites with a total of 51.5. We've already talked about this one a bit. Memphis, if you just want to recap your end of the teaser there.
It's the black and silver meets the black and gold teaser. We're teasing New Orleans up to plus 9.5. We're teasing the Raiders up to plus 8.5. The Raiders played a much better performing Chiefs team and offense to a shootout last year that I believe the Chiefs won by 3 again. Apologize for the approximations. I am operating sans notes, but I think this is the get right game for the Raiders at home after the loss in the Giants. I don't know that they necessarily win the game outright. Yeah. But I don't think they're blowing the Raiders out. We just saw the Chiefs at home in Arrowhead struggle to put away Jordan Love and the Packers. So for me, go ahead.
I was just going to say that game, it was like, we know the Chiefs, Andy Reid, Mahomes Chiefs, as like, light it up, throw downfield, never take the foot off the gas pedal. That game was like Sean Payton scheming the Saints against the wide receiver turned quarterback when Drew Lock and co all had COVID last year. Like, I am going to get a lead and play the safest goddamn game plan I can and barely walk out of there with the win. And it was like like I said, the Chiefs can't get a vacation and a bye soon enough. So yeah, I like it.
All right, what we got left?
Last one, Monday night, Los Angeles Rams going to San Francisco, laying 4 points with a total of 49. I like the Rams. This is going to be square, but I mean, how many times have we talked about like for so long, Kyle Shanahan was offensive boy genius. Like, Jimmy G ain't it, Kyle Shanahan ain't it. I think the Rams are coming into this one motivated. Talked about last week, like I was against the Rams. The Rams, they've been underperforming at home. I'm going to look at road favorites real quick. Probably should have done it earlier. They're 2-2 as road favorites, that's even. That's what Vegas does. But I feel like this game should be closer to 5.5 or 6. I think Stafford rolled his ankle. I don't know if that's going into the spread here, but he's going to go. It's just a minor low ankle sprain. He's not Lamar Jackson trying to break ankles, let alone his own. That's simple.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel square, but after the egg that everybody was on San Francisco last week, and that's always my fear. I don't intentionally try to be contrarian, which is why I'm not on the Rams. I could just see this game going either way. All the talk about Kyle Shanahan, his potential future in San Francisco in the media. Does the team come out and play hard for him? Hell, I don't know. Yeah. Do the Rams look to bounce back after a bad loss at home to the Titans? I could see this game going numerous different ways. That's why I have nothing on it. I would just better be to back off.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Look, hey, this Memphis, you know how superstition works in sports, right? If we have a big week this week, we can't change anything next week, right?
Yeah, we'll be right back here on the phone using the iPhone mic. It's my normal headphones. Luckily, I got the little adapter to make this work. My normal iPhone headphones that have the mic built into it, couldn't find them. You got to get to work in the morning. I got to get to work in the morning. A lot going on, not just a big bet, but in our real world lives as well. So thank you for understanding. We kept it to about a half an hour. Dr. Kyle, thank you for driving the show sheet, man.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it. But on behalf of that man, his name is Dr. Kyle. You follow him on Twitter at DWZ_Dr. PT. My name is Memphis. You can follow me at DWZ Memphis. You can follow the show at Dynasty Warzone on Instagram and Twitter. And until next time, Dr. Kyle, what do we always tell them?
Money won is twice as good as money earned.
Twice as sweet as money earned. You heard the man. Have a great week until week 11. Have a great week 10. Thanks, guys.